We're back again on Lutherans Alive with Dr. Kurt Thompson. I apologize, Kurt, for not having acknowledged your doctorate at the beginning of the program. It is something that's worth acknowledging. And again, your connection with the Department of Religion at Thiel. Thanks so much for being here today.
Well, it's really an enjoyable experience. So
great.
Get at it.
At the break, we were talking a bit about getting into the seminary experience and the warning, so to speak, that seminary is geared a lot toward pastoral ministry.
That's right. And Luther Seminary in St. Paul, Minnesota, had a very strong faculty. But after the second year, you were to go to an internship location. And some people were going to Tokyo, Seattle, San Diego, New York, Tampa, and it was just the luck of the draw, although they lined you up with a certain setting that they thought would be fitting for you. My location was Farmington Lutheran Church, and you were provided a check to move, 10 cents a mile back then. So I got a check for $2.90 for the moving down to Farmington. And that was really an important year in my life because I really learned during that time that the church is the people. And the supervising pastor in that setting was okay, but the wonderful experience was working with these people. And that was really the change for me. I thought, yeah, this ministry of working with the people and not laying it on with a heavy hand, but really getting in there and doing some meaningful programming and work, I can see doing that. And so the vocational shift really happened after that internship. And I became connected then to a church in inner city northeast Minneapolis, where there was this dynamic young pastor who'd actually been assigned to go there to close it. But he was full of appropriate charisma. And they flocked into that congregation. So I started as a student, and then he ended up leaving. And before I was done with the seminary, they called me, and I got this special status for half a year to be functioning with the sacrament until I was graduated and ordained. This was a unique, wonderful blue-collar setting where I used to say it wasn't really true, that everybody smoked and was divorced, but most people were. It was just a very earthy congregation, people full of love. And so that was a tremendous set of years. But even during that time, I knew I wanted to go on to school eventually. And so that was done, and I went to the University of Chicago Divinity School, which I thought at that time was really the top academic place in the world. And then I interviewed at an American Academy of Religion meeting in New York City with a bunch of schools, but one was a representative, Bill Good from Thiel College. And we had such a similar history, we hit it off, and that's what led to coming out to Pennsylvania.
Sounds like both in the congregational setting and in your own personal journey that sometimes we have ideas or thoughts about where things are going, and the Spirit has other ideas.
That's right. The Spirit is at work in the relationships, and the relationships that I was able to become enmeshed in at St. Paul's American Lutheran Church by the Dairy Queen. Those were some fantastic relationships, and it's been the same in the teaching endeavor. I think if you can get into the relationships, then whatever the task is, ministering in a parish or doing a teaching ministry with students, it's going to be enhanced because you've got that basic substance of sharing and openness and receptivity for whatever is going on there to take place. And so my whole theological understanding is really centered on relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
And we do want to get back to talking about Thiel and some of the initiatives that are underway right now. But I also want to give you just a couple of minutes at least to talk about your family.
I have my lovely wife, Catherine Agnes Olson, who has, she's from Fergus Falls originally as well.
Okay.
She has been a teacher of children with special needs up until this past June. And she's been retired now for a few months. I come home and I see just how wonderful this life of hers is. And it gets me thinking a little. I love teaching, but I maybe won't do it another 30 years, especially when I see the tranquility, the peace of mind that she has got. So we have 4 children. We have Sarah Morning, who is about 40 now, married with, she's a teacher, a couple of children.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua, who is 38, a guidance counselor. Aaron Christian in Chicago, working for Deloitte accounting firm, but also aspiring to be a director of film on the side. And Jorn Marie, who is in Chicago, finishing her master's in integrated marketing communication, sort of PR marketing. So 4 wonderful children. The family is enriched, that we are enriched by one another, all, I think, strong folks who are ready to give it up for their, as we say in the Danish, søskende, their brothers and sisters and even their parents. And so it's a strong unit, and they don't kick me out. It's wonderful. I'm still a part of it.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
We do have to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and talk a bit about what's going on at Thiel these days.
Very good.
Thanks.